cost effectively across radio, digital, podcasting, and social. We'd love to show you how iHeartMedia can work for you. Get started today at iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com.
Earl Campbell here for my good friends at Austin Shoe Hospital. Austin Shoe Hospital has been repairing my favorite boots and shoes for over 30 years. They are the best Western boot repair company in Texas and can repair any boot brand or style. Visit the master cobblers at Austin Shoe Hospital and they will bring all your shoes, boots, and bags back to life. If you wear it, they can repair it. Oh, yes, and hook 'em horns.
Visit AustinShoeHospital.com.
He's coming. Here we go.
Surprise! Your table saw broke. Also, the warranty expired weeks ago, so you need to pay for a new one out of pocket.
At Progressive, we know small business owners don't usually like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money? Getting a commercial auto quote from Progressive.
Oh, and the replacement part you ordered doesn't fit, so it's completely useless.
What a waste.
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Get the Apple Leasing Advantage today. Visit AppleLeasing.com. That's AppleLeasing.com.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 commercial-free stations waiting for you to explore right now, like 70s Rock Ride, Pink Floyd, Eagles, Van Halen, Tom Petty, Zeppelin, and more.
Hey, mama said the way you move, gonna make you sweat, gonna make you groove. Sweet home Alabama.
Just open the free iHeartRadio app, search 70s Rock Ride, and listen now. Free never sounded so good.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KVET AM Austin. Your home for the Horde. Make us the #1 preset in your car and on the free new and improved iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good.
The morning kickoff. The morning kickoff.
It's the morning kickoff with Mike Hardball Hardge and the world's strongest man, WWE Hall of Famer Mark Henry, on your home for the Hordes. 1300 The Zone.
Good morning, Austin, K-Town, Pflugerville, H-Town, Pearland,
Leander, and Stillsby, Texas.
or wherever you may be listening. This is a Throwback Thursday edition of the Morning Kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone. The Rockets throw some haymakers. The T-Wolves send the Lakers out to pasture. Eric Henry of Horns 24/7 joins us at 7:34 to talk salary cap. #1 Texas baseball coach Schlossnagle will be joining us at 8 a.m. from Fayetteville to preview the Arkansas series. The Houston Texans must get that O-line right, and the #4 Texas softball team look to get back on track. I am your host, Mike Hardball Hardge. My co-host is a WWE Hall of Famer and the world's strongest man. He is the Mark Henry.
Good morning, Austin. Good morning, Austin.
And, of course, our guy Marcus is on the boards. And if you want to be a part of the show, all you got to do is text the word Texas, followed by your message to 81530. Standard data and message rates may apply. That's the word Texas, followed by your message to 81530. Standard data and message rates may apply. Also, if you want to voice your opinion and get a chance to win a pair of tickets to go see Judas Priest and Alice Cooper, all you got to do is use that talkback feature on the new and improved iHeartRadio app. We'll receive it. You'll get a chance to win. And you know what? We might even hear a good quote because today is going to be a great day. I want to get into this conversation because I want it to be known that I believe the Lake Show is dead. And what do I mean by that? Let's just talk about the last few seasons in the NBA for the Lakers. The Lakers end up making a trade during the middle of the season. And a lot of folks are still mad. I was just texting with somebody just a minute ago. They still mad that Luka's not there. Well, we got a chance to see why Luka's not there. Because if you want to win a championship, You've got to be able to play defense. We talked about it yesterday. You can score 50. If I score 50, it's 0-0. We need somebody else to help out. You got to learn how to stop somebody first. I was talking to a college coach yesterday, and the one thing he said, everybody can get buckets. Everybody. When you're at college, you can get a bucket, but can you stop somebody from getting a bucket? That's the important thing. So since 2019, this is what the Lakers were able to do. They missed the playoffs in 2019. They won in the bubble. They became the champion. 2021, they were eliminated in the first round. 2022, they missed the playoffs. 2023, they were swept in the finals. 2024, or the Western Conference Finals, 24 and 25, they were eliminated in the first round. So all the pomp and circumstance that we thought we were going to get and the changing of the guard with the head coach, J.J. Redick. Let's not forget, Darvin Ham wanted to hold people accountable, and people got upset. J.J. Redick come in because he did a podcast with LeBron, and everybody thinks J.J.'s finna change the way this team is played. Well, he did. Mark, you've talked about the fact they don't even use a center, and you thought that was going to be the way to go. Did not work out that way. You know why? Because in their defeat last night of 103-96 to the Timberwolves, Rudy Gobert, that's right, Rudy Gobert got busy, and Ant called Gobert the Dragon.
He had 24 rebounds. He was a dragon tonight. Rudy was the dragon. Yeah, he was a dragon tonight, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Nah, he wasn't a dragon from Antarctica, though. He was a dragon from Game of Thrones tonight. Yeah, he was incredible tonight, to answer your question.
So think about this. Rudy Gobert, who has been a punching bag for so many people, had 27 points last night, 24 rebounds. He had 15 defensive rebounds, which means what, Mark? You're not getting a second chance to get a bucket.
No. And on top of that, Hardge, he intimidated probably about 15 shots. He made people pull the ball back and dribble back out because he was there.
Yep.
The Eiffel Tower last night was the most valuable piece on the board. In basketball, what is the thing that they hold at the highest regard? Height, length. And Rudy Gobert was the dragon of those categories. There's nothing that the Lakers had on their whole entire roster that could match up with Rudy Gobert.
How about this? They lose the game. They lose the game to Minnesota with Anthony Edwards going 0 of 11 from three-pointers.
Yeah.
0 of 11. And not only did Rudy Gobert get some love from his teammates, I want you to hear what Shaq had to say last night.
And I never thought I would say these words that are about to come out of my mouth, but Rudy Gobert is dominating.
Shaq is so wrong for that.
He is horrible. and Charles was instigating, man, if you was playing Rudy Gobert, he would dunk on your head. And Shaq just shook his head and, Charles,
yeah.
You're not going to get me tonight, Charles.
Yeah.
You're not going to get me the diesel. I'm just not going to fall for it tonight.
Yeah, it was an impressive look, and so much so that Anthony Edwards, who is hilarious on the microphone, he was a guy that, as I said, went 0 for 11 last night, but you would think that he made every single shot as he talked about the Lakers.
He talks.
Hey, Slick! Ant-Man, Batman, Superman. Lakers in 5.
You know what makes it feel even better is that they said Lakers in 5 and the Wolves won in 5. So I think that makes it feel 10 times better. That's like my only answer.
And he talked about the fact that they beat the best player in the world. He talked about beating LeBron. And that, to him, made everything. Julius Randle showed up in this series, former Laker. He showed up in this
series. Plenty
series.
Ambition to show up.
Yes. Yes.
You know, you get traded out of Los Angeles, you know, as for pieces and drafts and, you know, to get a player that everybody said, okay, that's a good move.
Yep.
That player's gone.
Yep.
Anthony Davis is in Dallas.
Yep.
And, you know, I think that Julius Randle was like, I'm going to prove something tonight.
Yep.
And he proved it. He did prove it. He played LeBron as well as anybody. He played bully ball like LeBron did. And LeBron was tired.
Yep.
For the first time in my fandom of the Los Angeles Lakers. And I told you, I went and saw LeBron play in high school when they had all the hoopla, like, hey, man, this high school kid is really, really good.
Yep.
Let me go see for myself. I have never seen LeBron tired before these last 3 games.
He's 40.
I know it.
He's
and JJ
40.
Redick did not protect him. You have got to protect your players from themselves. My coach told me that multiple times. Because I'm the type that if I fail, I'm not leaving the gym until I do it, Hardge.
Yeah.
I'm not going to leave the arena until it's something I messed up. I got to do it again and again and again until I feel like I got it. As an athlete, sometimes you got to say, hey, enough is enough. Go home. Come back tomorrow. We'll get it. JJ Redick didn't do that. He does, for all the X's and O's and the things that he did well this year, having the booming voice from up above, he didn't have it. And he did not play Dalton Connect since the trade. Dalton Connect played one game since Luka got there. One game. Dalton Connect, a guy, you start playing smaller guards in place of a guy that's super hyper athletic like Dalton Connect, that can shoot like Dalton Connect. I just think that there's some things that he made mistakes on, and you know, not letting that trade go through for Mark Williams was one of them.
Well, I mean, that's the injury report that came back that told him he couldn't be there. But I want you to hear about LeBron and what is next for him.
The fact that you're going to enter into an offseason on a roster that has Luka Doncic, that secured the number 3 seed in the West in a really tough West this year, what type of thoughts does that give you about your end game? And you know, how many more years will we see you play?
I don't know. I don't have the answer to that. Something I sit down with my family, my wife, and my support group, and kind of just talk through it and see what happens, and then just have a conversation with myself on how long I want to continue to play. I don't know the answer to that right now, to be honest. So we'll see.
Well, let's just say this.
He didn't sound very happy about it.
Well, Lakers in 5. Now they get to go fishing. And you got Giannis, you got AD, you got Chris Paul, you got Rich Paul. Lakers in 5. And as my man said,
none of that rhyme.
I wasn't trying to rhyme. All I wanted to know was, is that who I think it is? We'll talk about the Rockets. We'll talk about Golden State and what is next right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
It's the Craig Way Show.
If Jerry Jones does care as much about his fans as he says, try to make some moves that might at least appeal to them a little more than a lot of the moves you made. In other words, like a real personnel person, real general manager. Make Will McClay the real general manager.
Voice of the Texas Longhorns and Hall of Fame broadcaster. Weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. on AM 1300 The Zone.
Listen to something authentically Austin, the JB and Sandy podcast on the iHeartRadio app.
Plenty of brake lights out there on I-35 northbound due to reports of an accident around Stassi Lane. You're looking about 30 minutes to be added to your drive, and these delays start from Onion Creek Parkway. There's also reports of a crash on 130 northbound at FM 969 and an accident being cleaned up on Anderson Mill near 620. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by ExpressPros.com. If you're ready for a new job, let Express Employment Professionals help you. Express is already hiring for summer jobs in a variety of industries. Job seekers never pay a fee at Express. Go to ExpressPros.com to find your location. That's ExpressPros.com.
With your busy schedule, there's no way you have time for all those complicated fantasy lineups. But there is time to win up to 2,000 times your money on Better Picks. With Better Picks, you can jump in fast and pick more or less on your favorite player's stats for a chance to win up to 2,000 times your cash, all in the time it takes to listen to this commercial.
Pick, tap, and win. That's it. You can turn that $10 bill in your glove box into $20,000. That's some real excitement.
So don't forget, if it's game day, it's Better Picks Day. Crank up the excitement with Better Picks and play for huge cash payouts. Go to betrpicks.com or download Better in the app or Play Store and use promo code RADIO to get your first deposit matched in bonus funds up to $77. That's betterpicks.com, promo code RADIO.
Must be 21 or older and in a jurisdiction where Better Picks operates. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned with your play? Call the NCPG at 1-800-522-4700.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Ownwell. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at ownwell.com/terms. Estimate based on your neighborhood average and individual results may vary.
When I saw how high my property tax bill was, I was shocked. We couldn't afford this, but I discovered Ownwell. Ownwell reduced my property taxes and saved me over $1,000.
Your property taxes aren't set in stone. They can be protested and they can be reduced. But instead of filing protests yourself and very possibly losing your appeal, Ownwell does it all for you. But hurry, time is running out to protest. Ownwell has reduced property taxes for hundreds of thousands of Texans and put money back in their pocket, and you can be one of them. And unlike other companies that take half of whatever you save, Ownwell charges just 25%, and that's only if you save.
Now I don't worry about my property taxes. Ownwell reduces it every year.
Sign up now, free. Don't pay unless you save. But hurry, time is running out to protest. Text WIN to 64,000. Text WIN to 64,000. Text WIN to 64,000.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce, spruce, spruce.
It's Spruce, the new hard-working, worry-free weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people and pets. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Weeds die by the next day. Find Spruce wherever weed killers are sold.
Hey Austin, this is Cameron Parker with big news. 2024 savings are ending. Customers who switch from Geico, Allstate, and State Farm to Fred Loya Insurance saved an average of $2,300 a year. That's right, customers in Texas saved an average of $2,300 a year when they switch to Fred Loya Insurance. That's almost $200 a month. Wow. Don't wait. Make 2025 a great year by calling Fred Loya Insurance. Call today, 1-800-444-4040. That's 1-800-444-4040. Or visit fredloya.com. If you don't call, you don't save. Individual savings may vary.
Wilmer Valderrama and Freddie Rodriguez welcome another amigo to their podcast, Dos Amigos. Wilmer's friend and former That 70s Show castmate Topher Grace stops by the Speakeasy for a 2-part interview to discuss his career and reminisce about old times.
We were still in that place of like, what will this experience become? And you go, you're having the best time you're ever going to have. Yeah. But it was like such a perfect golden time.
Listen to Dos Amigos on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Dos Amigos.
What is dedication?
The thing that drives me every day as a dad is Dariano. We call him Day for short. Every day he's hungry for something, whether it's attention, affection, knowledge. And there's this huge responsibility in making sure that when he's no longer under my wing, that he's a good person. I want him to be able to sit back one day and go, we worked together, we did a good job.
That's dedication. Find out more at fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
The Zone is your home for the Round Rock Express.
All the Luka Doncic fans, understand that your guy needs to be better. I get it. He's talented. He's generational. But you have to be able to do it on both ends of the floor, and he refuses to do it. It's not that he can't, because you see him at the beginning of games, and he starts it. You're listening to the Morning Kickoff right here on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone. Mike Hardball, Hardge, world's strongest man, WWE Hall of Famer, D. Mark Henry, and, of course, our guy Mark is holding it down. Coming up in the next segment, we'll have Eric Henry of Horns 24/7. There's a report out about the salaries of the players on the University of Texas. I know it sounds kind of crazy when we start talking salaries in football, but basically it's talking about how much money has been allocated for Texas football, and we'll get into that conversation. But right now, I want to go to H-Town with the Get Down, and this in the next hour at this time, we'll be talking Houston Texans and how important it is for them to get things right on the offensive line. But right now, I want to go to H-Town and talk NBA, as the Rockets ended up defeating the Golden State Warriors 131-116. And that was one of those games that it looked out of hand early. It looked like the Rockets were just going to run away with the basketball game. But when you have a guy like Steph Curry on the other end, and you have guys coming off the bench like Moses Moody, it changes the perspective of it. There was some pushing, there was some shoving, there was some physicalities in this basketball game, but the Rockets end up winning 131-116, and here is some of that shoving.
Braxton Key missed the layup, and Dylan Brooks and Spencer, and now Şengün has something to say. Trace Jackson Davis, and here we go.
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, TJD gave him a pretty good shove there. So Braxton Key missed the layup. Dylan Brooks was pushed out of bounds. He was fouled.
And Dylan Brooks got up like he was really ready to do something. And I'm like, dude, you are a paper champion.
I want to drive to Houston and just choke slam him on the court. First off, he flopped.
He did.
So Spencer was like, threw his hands, like, what are you doing? Like, stop doing that. And he starts to walk. All his teammates sees is him flop.
Yeah.
So Şengün comes up in defense of Brooks, who was a liar at the moment, who flopped. And he instigated the whole thing. I thought there should have been a technical foul on Brooks for flopping, because he started. They always say, okay, who did what? Like,
they went back and reviewed it.
But they didn't call a penalty on Brooks for flopping.
Right.
They should have. That should have been a point. It should have been a free throw at least.
Yeah.
I thought the whole ordeal was ridiculous, and it all was brought on by the guy that we don't like the most.
Yeah, Dylan
He
Brooks.
is right there. Him and Draymond Green,
they might have been separated at birth.
They're like twins.
He's the old
Step brothers.
the older brother.
I'm gonna get a shirt made that's got the put Draymond Green and Brooks on a shirt. Put their faces on the Step Brothers ugly sweater shirt.
The one concern that I have about this Houston Rockets team, because number one, Ime Udoka is that guy. Like I said, he walked on the court yesterday and basically was telling all of them, I'll give it to you. He don't care. And that's what I like about him. I think Ime Udoka has proven himself to be one hell of a coach. This team on the regular season was 52-30. This is a team that, in the grand scheme of things, they were a year away, and they're still here.
You were telling me early in the season, mid-season, Mark, Houston looks good. And I was like, no. They look good, man. Yeah, I doubted it. By the end of the season, I was like, wow, they do look good. But I was such on that Laker fandom that I allowed it to get in the way of youth, one, defensive toughness, and size.
All right.
Houston has defensive toughness, they have size, and they have a lot of youth.
And they have Amen Thompson, the young player, the twin.
He has not reached near his potential yet.
And he's going to soon.
Or Sangoon.
Because he is talented.
Yeah, that's going to be a good squad.
Amen Thompson last night had 25 points, but it wasn't just the points. It was the fact of the physicality in which he was playing with. He was not nervous. He was not scared. And him and his brother, both of them, he's on Detroit. His brother's on Detroit, and he's on Houston. They're both in the playoffs, and they're both major contributors to the success and the failures of their squad. And for him to be able to go out there, play 35 minutes, but the physicality in which he got his 25 points. He was not nervous. He was not afraid. He was in there being physical. And you've been talking about Sengun all season long.
Yeah, he's one of those, man.
He's just one of those guys. He's a baby joker because he doesn't look athletic. He doesn't look like he's going to destroy you. But one thing is for sure, he's going to give it to you every single night.
He's also one of those guys that come from a philosophy of they don't really train with weights.
Yeah.
And do the kind of sports protocol that we do in America.
Right.
I think that's going to change this year. I think that, he finally realizes, you know what? I need to be stronger and faster, not just big and skilled.
Right.
Once he gets his athleticism together, which he's athletic. His balance is incredible.
Yeah.
I see him it's very hard to knock him off his stride. And some of that is his size, but it also is balance, contact balance. And we talk about that in football, but that's a necessary thing in basketball too.
Yeah, it's one of those things that you start to look at and you're saying, okay, that I can build my team around him.
Right.
And one of the things too for the Golden State Warriors, the biggest issue now is I don't know if y'all have seen the picture of Steph's thumb, but Steph's thumb is swollen. It is huge right now. And people are really starting to worry about it. But Steph, he's just going to play through it.
State of your thumb right now?
Cold.
There was a picture, I don't know if you've seen it online, where it looks pretty swollen. I think it was with you walking to the plane.
I got the feds on me? What are you talking about?
No, the internet is the feds at this point.
I love this league so much. I love it so much.
How is your thumb? Besides cold because you're icing it?
I don't even know how to answer it. It's just something you're dealing with and you keep it moving. As long as I can play. You got to rap for a reason, but that's it.
Do you feel it's impacting your game at all?
No. No. Not at all.
Well, you know what?
Should have said, have you seen me play?
Right. Well, here's the deal. They are targeting his thumb, and Udoka and Dylan Brooks talked about it.
Warriors broadcasters tonight on the broadcast accused Dylan Brooks of intentionally swiping at Curry's right thumb. How would you respond to that?
I wouldn't. If that's the response, I wouldn't.
Dylan, one of the Warriors broadcasters tonight said he thought you were intentionally trying to swipe down on Curry's thumb, and Kerr was asked about it and said it happens around the league, that it's allowed by the rules, so players throughout the league do that. What do you think about that?
No, I've been playing the game. Shoot. If you're gonna come play the game injured or whenever you got, it's all about the game. You know, if I had an injured ankle, I would attack that ankle every single time.
He's just being honest.
These dudes,
leave him alone. He's
dudes,
being honest. That's the only thing that's good about Dylan Brooks.
Where's your T-shirt at? Where's your T-shirt?
I'm gonna get the T-shirt made. But that dude right there was being honest. Hey, if you have an injury, you come into the game, I'm going at it.
If I had an injured ankle, I'd be going at that ankle. This stuff is wild, and I love every bit about it. The Golden State Warriors are still up 3-2. the Lakers are gone fishing. But right now, we're about to talk to my guy, Eric Henry of Horns 24/7. What's up with this salary cap? We'll talk about it right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Listen to something authentically Austin, the JB and Sandy podcast on the iHeartRadio app.
The left lane's blocked off on I-35 northbound at Stastny. It has you all tied up starting from Highway 45, causing a 45 to 50-minute delay. Earlier troubles on 130 northbound at FM 969 have been taken care of, but there is a new accident on Howard Lane at DeSalle Road. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rocket. If you feel like owning a home is out of reach, Rocket is here to give you back the keys because they believe everyone deserves a shot at the American dream. Own the dream. Visit rocket.com or call 800-4ROCKET. Again, that's rocket.com or call 800-4ROCKET.
Everybody, it's Mike Hardball Hardge.
And this is the world's strongest man, Mark Henry.
And we're here to talk to you about myplates.com.
Tell them about it, Mike.
Mark, when you're on the road and looking at the vehicles, what's the first thing you see?
Well, I'm usually a nice car, but the plates, baby.
At myplates.com, you can create a plate that shows exactly who you are.
Like the one I'm thinking about, the world's strongest man. Had to let him know.
Come on, you can get colors, styles, slogans. My Plates lets you flex your Texas pride your way.
Big truck, big attitude, and it's better to have a plate to match.
Hit up myplates.com today and put in the promo code THEZONE. That's the zone, all one word, for up to $55 in savings. And make your ride look as good as you do.
Or even better, myplace.com.
That's the way to go. And tell them Hardball Hardge
and Mark Henry
sent you.
These days, figuring out what, where, and how to watch TV is out of control. And so is the cost. That's why I'm psyched I found Philo. Live TV from A&E, Discovery, MTV, and all the channels I love. A huge library of movies and shows, and an unlimited DVR to save them. I also get AMC Plus and all their blockbuster hits. All this for just $28 a month when you sign up at philo.tv. Give it a try, risk-free at philo.tv.
And Doug.
Here we have the Limu Emu in its natural habitat, helping people customize their car insurance and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. Fascinating. It's accompanied by his natural ally, Doug.
Limu, is that guy with the binoculars watching us?
Cut the camera. They see us.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Savings vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
Spring has sprung and it's full tilt boogie time at GiveMeTheVin.com. America's best car buyer.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Mel Kiper Jr. here. Have you always dreamed about a career in sports? Dr. Lynn Lashbrook with Sports Management Worldwide offers online training courses that launch your sports career. Sports Management Worldwide at smww.com trains people in as little as 8 weeks to be sports agents, scouts, and work in the front offices of the NFL, MLB, NHL, NBA, and NASCAR. Call Sports Management Worldwide at 877-SMWW now. That's 877-SMWW-NOW. Call now or visit smww.com.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
The Astros gave up 7 runs over the first 3 innings, failed to sweep the Tigers in Houston. Astros second in the AL West at 16-14. Lance McCullers Jr. set to start against the White Sox Sunday, his first major league appearance since the World Series in 2022. Timberwolves beat the Lakers in Game 5, advance to the Western Conference semis, while the Rockets avoid elimination. I'm Ronza Moss.
Hey, this is Lincoln Kennedy. Here's what's trending on the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Mercedes-Benz.
That feeling of owning your first Mercedes-Benz is hard to believe, but it's real. From the leather stitching to the iconic design, every element of a Mercedes lives up to its reputation. See for yourself at your local dealer. Offers are waiting.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, your home for the Horns.
It's Thursday, so that means my guy Eric Henry of Horns 24/7 joins us to break down all things Texas football, baseball, basketball. He can do it all, but right now,
marbles, tiddlywink.
yeah, he came and hung out with us at the Fan Fest for a little bit. Then he went over to the ballpark for baseball. But Eric, I want to get right into it. It has been reported that Texas will spend between $35 million and $40 million on the 2025 roster. This is coming after different areas, revenue sharing, house settlement is reached. Everything else will go into it. But what are your thoughts and how accurate is that?
Yeah, first off, as always, good morning. Appreciate y'all having me on as always. Yeah, I believe that number to be accurate, and it shouldn't shock anybody that that number is accurate. Let's go down to some of the aspects you talked about, right? We can start with the fact that there is going to be a revenue sharing settlement. That's the projections around $20 million, between $20 and $21 million. That is going to be Texas' share, right? They are going to take the rev share allotment. So there's roughly $20 to $21 million of the 40 right there. There's half. Fellas, Hardge, Mark, I pretty much reported last year, or actually I did report last year, that Texas, in terms of their football operating budget, was between $13 and $16 million, okay? So if we take that figure and then you just say, all right, it's going to be maybe a little bit of a boost, a little bit of an increase, and now you're at 20, it's not that much of a shift from last year. It's just the sticker shock of the totality of the rev share allotment in conjunction with Texas One Fund and some of the other areas that Texas can fund their football program. So yeah, I don't find that number to be, again, it's the sticker shock that some people are looking at, but you're not taking into account the settlement that's coming down. And B, there are plenty of programs across the nation that are spending double digit in terms of, tens of millions of dollars to fund their program. It's just something that people were looking at and saying, all right, because Texas is doing it, you have all these questions. So I saw that report, and I credit Kirk Bowles, who reported that in the Houston Chronicle. And yeah, I believe that number to be accurate. It doesn't surprise me. And the last thing I'll say is this. I've seen some of the criticism. I saw, I'll call out our company, 24/7 Sports. It was someone who works for our Ohio State side who said, oh, it doesn't take $40 million to fund a competitive team. Well, whether it does or doesn't, that's not the point, right? Hardge, I'm going to say this is your background. I'm a Tampa Bay Rays fan. The Rays continuously fund are able to field a competitive team despite being one of the lowest funded teams in MLB. But if they had the money to do it, would I want them to do it? Yes. All right. So it's not a matter of whether you need that money. It's that everyone in every school in the nation if they had the opportunity to do so, would be doing so.
No doubt.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't think that $35 to $40 million is an exorbitant number when you already account the fact that people are spending between 15 and 17 already. And now you add another $20 million to it. Like, it is what it is. The only reason that there's a stink is because it's Texas. That everybody wants to hate us for whatever reason. And you know what? I'm with it because I use it as fuel. I hope that the University of Texas athletes realize that people are going to hate them just because they're great.
Mark, it's the thing that, listen, again, right? I'm sure someone will hear this and call me a Texas homer or whatnot. That's fine. You can call it what it is. There isn't a program in the nation that if they had the opportunity to spend the types of money that Texas can spend, that they wouldn't. And I'll give you an example, right? Again, to your point that you're saying people want to hate Texas, let's take this out of the football realm and go to basketball, right? Kentucky, I can tell you right now, Kentucky basketball, they're spending north of $10 million on their basketball roster this year, right? And then if Kentucky wins a national title, I'm sure there's some people who will say, oh, well, Kentucky had to do this to compete for their first national title in, 15, 16 years. And that's the game. That's where we are. Right.
Yeah.
So again, I don't understand that people say it doesn't take that. Whether it does or doesn't is irrelevant. It's the fact that you have the wherewithal to do it. And there isn't a team in the nation, a program in the nation that wouldn't do this. And lastly, you have to develop said talent, right? We've seen Texas and plenty of schools. We saw Miami, right, for example, acquired 5-star class after 5-star class for 10 years, didn't win a darn thing, right? So yes, the acquiring of the talent helps, but you got to develop it as well.
Wow.
We're talking to Eric Henry of Horns 24/7. You can follow him at Eric C. Henry _. And let's continue the conversation, because as these moments continue to grow and you talk about all of the different areas of success that Texas has been able to do it and accumulate a lot of talent, now is the time for Texas to really take another step. Everybody's been talking about them being in the Final Four the last couple seasons, but there's still more to be desired when it comes to this Texas football team. For Texas to win it all, and I know it's kind of it's a way out there conversation, but what do you expect to see for Texas moving forward as they start to do these things that you were talking about as far as development?
Yeah. Listen, you kind of asked me what does Texas do moving forward to take that next step and win a national title. I think that part of it is, in fact, yes, winning the free agent process, right? Winning in the transfer portal. Here's the example I'll give you. Hardge is this, right? And this is a point where if you want to accuse Texas of having a little bit of, extra luck, you could look at this, right? Quinn Ewers, you get a quarterback, typically the highest paid position on your team, who doesn't have to take $1 from your NIL fund because he is using his own name, image, and likeness. Arch Manning, same thing, doesn't have to take $1 from the rev share, from the collective. What that allows Texas to do is go out and fill spots that were sorely needed. I look at defensive tackle, right? They're able to go out and get 5 of those. That certainly makes a difference. They're able to fill in at tight end, at receiver. So I think the next step in the immediate future, and by the way, really quick, just to cap the whole money discussion, it's going to be a moot point next year, right? Because it's the one-time revenue sharing allotment, and then when you go to straight rev share, well, a lot of schools are going to phase out their collective. So it's just a one-time thing. But nevertheless, in order for Texas to do this and keep it, make it sustainable moving forward, there are things in place, right? You have a quarterback in Dia Bell, another legacy quarterback, the son of former NBA star Raja Bell, right? Yep. He's not going to have to take money from outside. He can use his own name, image, and likeness. That's going to allow Texas, with the money they do have, to go fill spots across the roster and not have to, put $4, $5, $6 million to a quarterback, Hardge. So I know I answered it kind of in a 10,000-foot view, but I do think it's important to look at it from that perspective.
We love it.
Texas has been able to fill those spots that way.
Yeah, there's a lot of times that when you put it in perspective, whether it's 10,000 feet or right in front of you, sometimes you got to be able to view it with a different lens. And I think you presented it in a perfect way because of the simple fact, too, that we've talked about. I mean, it's going to continue to grow. It's not going anywhere. And it's going to be the haves and the have-nots. And if you do not have, you will not be a part of the party, man. It's just what it is. So as always, bro, we appreciate you taking the time. Don't forget, at 8 o'clock, we'll have Jim Schlossnagel. And I know you've been covering that, and I know you've been listening to it as well. We'll talk to you soon, brother.
Appreciate y'all as always.
There he is, Eric Henry of Horns 24/7. Follow him at Eric C. Henry _ on social media. All right, one last time. I'm going to talk about Bill Belichick, and then I'm done.
No, you're not.
I'm done.
No, you're not.
But don't go anywhere. We'll talk about Bill Belichick right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
As the weather heats up, the action on the diamond gets even hotter. Here's the 0-1. Swung onto the ball, hit well, out toward right, and you can say goodnight to it. Tune into Longhorn Baseball all season long. The stretch in the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Got him on the slider. And the Longhorns with back-to-back strikeout. From the road to the dish. This is Longhorn Baseball on 1300 The Zone. Bonus Bucks.
Bonus Bucks. Once you win $1,000 in bonus bucks, you'll have more money to use on your fantasy leagues. Bonus Bucks. The winning happens every weekday, right here
on 1300 The Zone.
Listen to something authentically Austin, the JB and Sandy podcast on the iHeartRadio app.
2 right lanes are blocked off by a new accident on Mopac southbound at Merrilltown Drive. It's got you backed up starting from Highway 45, causing a 10 to 15 minute delay. And there's an hour delay caused by an accident blocking out the left lane on I-35 northbound at Stastny. Your delays start from the 45 southeast toll, but it looks to be in the final stages of clearing out. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Wish you could save on home insurance? With Allstate, you could easily save and get quality protection. Yep, it's a win-win. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Leo Schofield spent decades in prison for a crime Jeremy Scott later confessed to. Season 2 of the hit podcast Bone Valley investigates how Jeremy's violent past unfolded and who else may have suffered his wrath.
This is a case that should never happen. I told you got it wrong, you got the wrong man.
Listen to Bone Valley on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Bone Valley.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce.
It's Spruce, the new hard-working, worry-free weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people and pets. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Weeds die by the next day. Find Spruce wherever weed killers are sold.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like, to check you have your phone first, before the cab pulls away.
Hey, thanks, man. No, wait, my phone, come back. It's got my boarding pass, credit cards, phone numbers, my life, come back.
Checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Pluto TV has all the shows and movies you love streaming for free. That means laughter is free with gut-busting comedies like The Neighborhood, Boomerang, and Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Bueller.
Mystery is free with countless cases to crack from Criminal Minds, Tracker, and Matlock.
I'm a lawyer, like the old TV show.
And thrills are free with heart-pumping hits like The Walking Dead and Pulp Fiction.
Correctamundo.
Feel the free Pluto TV. Stream now, pay never.
Our city is growing. With more people moving to Austin, there's more traffic, more accidents, and more attorney advertisements. That makes choosing an attorney difficult, but it's an important decision after suffering an accident. This is where DJC Law stands out above the rest. With over 25 years of experience, their long-standing roots and customer-focused approach make all the difference. They've helped countless clients achieve the justice and the compensation they deserve, with over 1,000 5-star reviews to prove it. DJC Law is dedicated and will tirelessly fight the big insurance company tactics so you can focus on your recovery. Call 512-888-9999 24/7 for a free case evaluation. They can meet you in the office, at your home, or in the hospital, and you pay nothing unless they win. Injured? Call 512-888-9999. That's 512-888-9999 and get your justice. TeamJustice.com. DJC Law, principal office in Austin, Texas.
The new iHeart app just looks better.
The best feature of a car radio on the app.
It's the presets.
Super easy.
And thank you for keeping it free.
Get in on what everyone's talking about and get the new and improved free iHeart Radio app today.
iHeartRadio.
Get the Apple Leasing Advantage today. Visit appleleasing.com. That's appleleasing.com.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KVET AM Austin. Your home for the Horns. Make us the #1 preset in your car and on the free new and improved iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good. It's the Craig Way Show with Craig Way and Cameron Parker. Weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
If you recognize that, then it's time for you to get over to AM 1300, The Zone on the iHeartRadio app, always free, by the way, and get a chance to win a pair of tickets to go see Alice Cooper and Judas Priest, October the 25th at the Germania Insurance Amphitheater. All you got to do is get over there, tap that red microphone, and leave the word dismiss. Dismiss is the word of the day for a chance to win a pair of tickets to go see Alice Cooper and Judas Priest. I want to give a shout out to Eric Henry of Horns 24/7 coming in and dropping that knowledge about the dollar bill, y'all. And it is always fun to talk to E. But I want to get into this conversation for one last time. This Bill Belichick situation has fascinated
Will
me.
you stop it? You know you can't go a show without talking about Bill.
I'm done with Bill after this.
We'll see.
But Bill Belichick and his situation with his new significant other.
His boo
thing. Young Tenderoni. Out in them streets. Has taken another turn at North Carolina.
Oh, let me get settled. Hold on. Okay.
So
ahead.
here is the latest
on the
Bill Belichick situation. Obviously, we've talked about his CBS Good Morning spot where his girlfriend, Jordan Hudson, was a little upset and a little ticked off about the line of questioning when it was
We're
there.
not going to answer that.
When they were trying to promote Bill's book. And I understand that. Upon further review,
okay,
I understand that she didn't really want to get into
the inner workings
of their
how they met.
relationship. Yes. So I get it. Well, then it comes out that they were trying to be a part of Hard Knocks. They were going to do Hard Knocks on the University of North Carolina.
Yeah.
And they decided, well, we're not going to do that now because she decided that she wanted creative control of Hard Knocks.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Time out. Can we get she wanted creative control over the entire project or just over Bill's interaction with the project?
The entire project. So she wanted this final say, I guess you would say. And a lot of people have final say in those cuts.
Can I
get
ask you a question?
Sure.
What the hell does she know about the University of North Carolina's inner workings?
I have no idea.
What qualifies her to actually give information about a university that, one, she doesn't work for, two, that she didn't go to, and three, she's not the coach.
She's not the coach. And here's where things get a little bit interesting for me on the Bill Belichick side of this.
Okay, I'm listening.
Now, remember, everybody was talking about her being his PR.
No problem with that.
Her being his trying to educate him on the inner workings of social media as far as dealing with the younger generation.
Yeah, I have no problem with that either.
So the University of North Carolina came out with a detailed apology and understanding statement, I guess you would say, not apology, a statement about Bill Belichick's reasoning for the interview to not go as well, right? They were supposed to go down a line of questioning. They didn't do the things that they said. CBS said, no, we did exactly what we were supposed to do. What we were not briefed and said, don't talk about this, don't talk about that. It's the general conversation about things that are going on, and it would help him promote his book because people are obviously talking about this.
Right.
But the biggest part of it all is if Bill is supposed to be this social media type of person that they're trying to portray him to be and educate him to be, why is the University of North Carolina doing that? Why wouldn't Bill be able to read his own statement? Why wouldn't Bill be able to craft out his own, no pun intended, craft out his own statement towards the people and explain himself to the media on social media? Because if you're trying to build your social media following and those types of things.
Seems like you would work with the university to help facilitate that.
Absolutely. And you being on camera to do that is the Bill Belichick new way. Like he's out and about. And to put a topper on all of this, rumor has it that her mother
here we go,
owns a let's just say
a dispensary,
closer, adult dispensary.
Oh no,
it's okay. Whatever it takes. Look,
whatever floats your boat.
Exactly. But enough of the conversation has been. Now people are going down rabbit holes to find out more about her. So when you get yourself out there and you start being this quote unquote pretentious type of individual that seems to be combative.
But what the mother does, her father does, doesn't have a bearing on her. I want to know her qualifications. You know, like
it does have a bearing on her too, by the way, because now they're
going.
And they're gonna dig.
Yeah,
they're digging now.
They're
that.
Dig,
you know as well as I do.
I still want to know what her educational standard is and what makes her qualified to be an analyst. What makes her qualified to run the social media? Who did she work with before? How did she become such a maven? Like for social media? Like, show me some other examples before you put yourself out there as I should have final say so with HBO.
So here's the
get out of here.
Here's the most important part for me, Mark. This conversation has all of us getting ready to watch North Carolina football this season. Not only because of Bill Belichick, you're watching it because we're going to try to figure out if it's going to be a train wreck this season. I'm all in, baby. I'm all in. But I will not talk about Bill Belichick no more.
Okay.
Until football season starts, unless he does something crazy on the internet. Coming up next, we have Texas baseball coach Jim Schlossnagle talking about their big matchup as the number one team travels to Fayetteville, Arkansas to take on those Razorbacks. Pig Suey right here
Take
on
security
the morning,
with you.
on the morning kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
This is Mark Henry, the world's strongest man. Discover the true taste of Texas at Mom's Food, Smokehouse, and Delicatessen, where everything is handcrafted in-house, from the mustard to the bacon. Proudly featured in the inaugural Michelin Guide of Texas, they source the finest products from local producers. Visit us at 5811 Manor Road, Austin, Texas, or find them at your favorite farmer's market. Pre-order their barbecue today. Don't you keep the best delicatessen in Austin a secret. Tell them Mark Henry sent you.
Hey, if you're listening to me right now, I have one thing every business needs most: attention. Think about it. We swipe and scroll past stuff all day. But when we're driving, cooking, and working out, we're also listening. That's the magic of audio at iHeart. We're in your next customer's ears while they're living life and listening, just like you are right now. So get your customers to listen up today using radio, digital, and podcasts. Visit iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com.
Running a fleet is expensive. So what happens when you cut the fuel bill by 10% with a Coast Fleet Card?
We're saving money and time, which means we're able to take better care of all of our vehicles and our techs, plus our bottom line. Coast has been a real game changer for us.
With Coast, you get smarter spending, stronger security, and real support when you need it. Set spending limits, track purchases in real time, and stop unauthorized transactions before they happen. Coast works anywhere Visa is accepted, so you're not limited to overpriced or out-of-the-way gas stations.
The customer service is way above the company that we used before. Along with the extra security, it's worth saying again, total game changer for us.
Go to coastpay.com/sports and learn how to save an average of 10% on your fuel bill with Coast. That's coastpay.com/sports to save 10% on fuel with Coast. coastpay.com/sports.
Coast card products are issued by Celtic Bank. All card accounts are subject to credit approval. Actual savings may vary. See terms at coastpay.com. The spokesperson and characters in this ad are actor portrayals.
I wasn't aware of flats. Now, I've been eating chicken wings for a long, long time, but the place that is known for flats. Now, explain what flats are, Seton.
Flats are the ones they have like two bones.
Yeah.
Usually they're a little more work, but might taste a little better.
The Bar in Wisconsin has been doing this, the best chicken wings since 1988.
Flats only.
Yes, 6 locations throughout the Northeast region and just a couple of blocks from historic Lambeau. And it's the Bar on Holmgren Way. Please join us for Drafts at the Draft at the Bar. We'll be there doing our show all week long, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Entertainment, live music. They have trivia. They have bingo. They have pickleball, cornhole. They got it all. Private events, party spaces, game day, non-game day events. You can host your special events for your family and friends or corporate events. You can visit us at meetatthebar.com to find the location nearest you. That's meetatthebar.com. Let us be your headquarters for fun.
Yep, it's that time of year when CCA Austin has their fundraiser. The who's who of Austin will be there on May 8th at the Pomeroy Event Center. Checking out the live auction items, the silent auction items, all the games, and having some of the best food in Austin. We'll be there as well. There's tables still available. We'll see you at the Pomeroy Event Center May 8th. Doors opening at 5:30. Check out ccaustin.org for more info.
Hey, Austin, this is Cameron Parker with big news. 2024 savings are ending. Customers who switch from Geico, Allstate, and State Farm to Fred Loya Insurance saved an average of $2,300 a year. That's right. Customers in Texas saved an average of $2,300 a year when they switch to Fred Loya Insurance. That's almost $200 a month. Wow. Don't wait. Make 2025 a great year by calling Fred Loya Insurance. Call today, 1-800-444-4040. That's 1-800-444-4040. Or visit fredloya.com. If you don't call, you don't save. Individual savings may vary.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KVET AM Austin. Your home for the Horn. Make us the #1 preset in your car and on the free new and improved iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good.
The morning kickoff. The morning kickoff.
It's the morning kickoff with Mike Hardball Hardge and the world's strongest man, WWE Hall of Famer, Mark Henry, on your home for the Horns. 1300 The Zone.
Welcome back to hour number 2 of the morning kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone. The Lake Show is now the fake show as the Timberwolves move on after defeating the Lakers in 5. The Rockets and Golden State get into a punching match. Eric Henry of Horns 24/7 talked a lot about the salary cap, and Bill Belichick is still on my nerves. But joining us from Fayetteville is our guy, head coach of the #1 ranked Texas Longhorns as they make the trip to Arkansas to take on the number 11 Razorbacks that will take place starting tonight, is Coach Jim Schlossnagle. And Coach, I know we're in the present, but we do have to go back in the past just for a little bit, as you had an emotional weekend as your Texas Longhorns sweep your former team, the Texas A&M Fighting Aggies. And the biggest story that we got coming out of there is you guys continue to pitch well.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me on. Yeah, it was a great weekend for college baseball, great weekend for Texas for sure. Obviously, all 3 games were super close, decided by 1 run, and I think all 3 games the Aggies had both the tying and go-ahead run on base, and we were able to either make pitches or turn the big double play there in the weekend. So, yeah, we pitched well. We didn't swing it that great. But you also got to credit, A&M was preseason #1 in the country for a reason, and they've gotten healthier with getting Caden Sorrell back, and so they're a really good team. So that's good for us, and just overall had some longtime Longhorns, including Craig Way and people that have been around Dish Falk for a long time. Says one of the most electric weekends that they'd ever seen. So that's great for the program, and hopefully that'll continue to draw people out to watch us play.
Coach, I have very few negative things to say about anybody. I'm an optimist. But I want y'all to go up there, kick them in the face, and get out of there. Don't stay and see the sights. There are no sights to be seen. And the people there are not very nice. I'm just going on record. Go get your wins. Don't hang out to enjoy it. Enjoy it in Austin.
Yeah. Well, believe me, with this Thursday to Saturday series, I mean, it's nice when it's over and you get a rest on a Sunday, but this is a big week for us, man. This is the this will be the toughest environment that we play in all year. None of our guys have played in this series before, and they've certainly never played in this ballpark and seen what, like you said, what these fans are all about. So, and we're playing a great team. I mean, just elite talent. They're a little banged up like the rest of us, but the arms we're going to see, Root tonight, who we tried to get at Texas, was one of the top transfers out of East Carolina. Is just a superstar, and then a guy that's coming off injury who pitched well last week named Wood. His fastball just sits about 98 miles an hour. So they have big power. Their shortstop might win the Golden Spikes Award this year. And then you got to deal with, just the atmosphere. But those are all we get to do that. We don't have to do it. We get to do it. It's going to be an awesome experience. Win or lose, it's going to make our team better. The Longhorns will show up. And believe me, as soon as that game's over Saturday, we'll be head back to Austin.
Coach, with an environment like they present, even your experienced players, how do you get them to focus on the necessary thing that you coach, plan, doing the things that you want them to do, and not the environment?
Well, you appreciate the environment for what it is, but this is why we invest so heavily in the mental game from the very first day of fall practice. Is that you can't control what the events are and that happen in a game, but you can control your response to them. And E plus R equals O. The event plus the response is going to equal the outcome. So we know we're going to take body blows, and you just got to keep playing, and you take a deep breath. You trust your routine. You focus on winning pitches. You play to a standard, not a scoreboard, all the things that we believe in. And that doesn't make it easy, but it does. It gives you an anchor. It gives you something to go to when you're in those moments. And pressure's a privilege, man. I mean, there's a lot of people that freaking would give up a pinky to be in this space. You're playing at the University of Texas against a great program in front of an awesome fan base that's super loud and going to be packed. That's why you come to Texas and play in the SEC, is for weekends like this.
And we were talking about it. We're talking to head coach of the number 1 ranked Texas Longhorns, Jim Schlossnagle, as they get ready to take on the Arkansas Razorbacks. First pitch tonight will be at 6:00. Tomorrow night will be at 7:00, and Saturday will be at 2 p.m. And then they can get on that plane and come back. But Coach, I sit here, and obviously over the years and over this season, you get a chance to watch your team. And the one thing that I've been very impressed with is that y'all been able to do it in so many different ways, and folks still can't understand how. But I believe in what you were talking about, the mental aspect of it all, the ability to focus and the ability to lock in, and it goes with that leadership that you have in that dugout.
Yeah, it's certainly, it's a team that belief is a very powerful thing. And when you go through what we've gone through with the injuries and setbacks, and when I say setbacks, we've only lost a couple games, but we've still played. Everything's close. We play from behind a lot. But these guys just believe in each other, and that can take you a long way. And we do play clean baseball. I mean, it's never, the saying is, knock on wood. I mean, the saying is it's never about the best team. It's only about the team that plays the best. And we have good players. I mean, I'm not going to discount our players. We have good players too. But when you throw strikes and you handle the baseball, then that's 2/3 of the battle. You have pitching, defense, and timely hitting. So if we throw strikes, if we make the routine plays, don't throw the ball around the field, and then you're just that gives you a really, really good chance. Then you're down to the timely hitting, which that's going to come and go. So would we love for the season to continue to go the way it's going? Sure, but more than likely, and I'm not trying to be Debbie Downer, more than likely there's going to be a weekend or a set amount of time, there usually is for every team, where it doesn't go your way. And then that's when we'll find out, hey, can we just keep doing what we're doing, keep our nose down, don't listen to anything on the outside. And it's all about being ready and healthy at the most important time of the year, which is going to be the end of May and the 1st of June, to give us the best chance to advance our season.
No doubt about it. Coach, I wanted to ask you this. Obviously, the pitching rotation seems to be the same. Ruger Riojas will go today, Luke Harrison tomorrow, and from what I understand is TBA on Saturday.
Yeah, Jason Flores is fine, and more than likely he'll be the guy that starts that game. But when you go on the road in these environments, and given where we are in our season, it's so tough to win. It's so tough. It's so hard to win the games and so easy to lose them. If we have a chance to grab one or grab even a series, we'll do that, and we'll just see how it plays out.
So let me ask you this, because it is going to be a big weekend, exciting weekend. Can't wait to check it all out. But there are some things that you put out yesterday talking about the injury report and the latest on a few guys, namely Max Ballou. What's the latest on Max Ballou?
Yeah, Max he's making progress every day. He's got pretty decent amount of mobility in his thumb, but he's still, it's still real tender. I mean, it's getting better every day, and we're not even, it's basically for some people it's a 6-week injury. Well, if it's 6 weeks, he may not play again this year, but if it's closer to 5 or 4, then we could see him, maybe at the end of the regular season or the SEC tournament. But he's got a career, man. Like, this guy's got a chance to be a big leaguer, and this is a real serious injury. So we're not going to do anything to put him at risk. I know he's chomping at the bit. He's trying every day to, he stands in on bullpens. He stands in against the pitching machines. He can't do anything but hold the bat. But he's trying to do everything he can to be ready when he comes back, like he did at the beginning of the season.
Yep. When
he had freaking mono. I mean, so it's just always something. So he's an awesome guy, and when he's ready, he'll be in there.
We're going to let you go with this. 34 years ago, 34 years ago, a 44-year-old Nolan Ryan throws his 7th career no-hitter. You are a historian of the game. You've been around the game your whole life. How cool is that a 44-year-old could still go out there and throw it at a high level because he took care of himself? Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, what a great player, and I you should probably look up how many 1-hitter and 2-hitters the guy had. I mean, he was close. He was close to so many, and I was real fortunate enough to really get to know Nolan really well. All 3 of his children went to TCU. He actually coached at TCU a couple years before I got there, but and then he was part owner of the Rangers during my time in Fort Worth. So one of the best honors of my life was getting to know him and his wife Ruth and their family. No doubt about it. Coach, best of luck, and as Mark says, go handle your business, but get out of there as soon as you possibly can. I lived in Little Rock for a while, man. I totally get it, brother. Okay, man. You guys have a great weekend. Hook 'em. You too. Hook 'em. There he is, the head coach of the Texas Longhorns, Jim Schlossnagle. Big matchup against the Arkansas Razorbacks. When we come back, we're going to talk Houston Texans. They needed to make some adjustments, and how good can C.J. Stroud be this year? Coming up next, right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
The Craig Way Show, weekdays at 2.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, Bills. That's Bills. Enter it now.
AM 1300 The Zone.
Listen to something authentically Austin, the JB and Sandy podcast on the iHeartRadio app.
The accident on I-35 northbound at Stassi Lane has been moved from the main lanes over to the right shoulder, but still causing about a 45-minute delay starting from the 45 Southeast toll. And checking back in on Mopac southbound at Merrilltown Drive, this accident now just blocks off the right lane, still causing a 7 to 8 minute delay, though, from Highway 45. I'm Jason Fostick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Randall's. Get fresh spring savings on family favorites at Randall's. This week at Randall's, get fresh boneless half pork loin for $1.97 per pound. And selected varieties of Lucerne shredded cheese for just $1.97 each. Download the Randall's Deals and Delivery app or head in store for more deals.
Summer's just around the corner. You remember summer? Hot, sticky, and almost unbearable. That's the one. It was brutal. This is Nolan Ryan. Be ready for another Texas scorcher with American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. American Standard Air. Clean, efficient, and dependable. Nothing better for your hill country home. Invest in your family's comfort. Take my word. Why fry? AmericanStandardAir.com. Comfort the way you like it.
Shop's simple. It doesn't get any easier. You're looking for a new Ford. You don't have time to spend hours at the dealership. You're busy. So Leaf Johnson Ford has made it simple. Pick yours at LeafJohnsonFord.com. We can bring it to you for a home test drive. Once you determine it's perfect, you can arrange financing, value your trade, and sign all your paperwork digitally. Then simply tell us where and when you want to take delivery. Leaf Johnson Ford. Leaf Johnson Ford has made buying a new Ford simple.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out?
It's Spruce, the new hard-working, worry-free weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people and pets. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Weeds die by the next day. Find Spruce wherever weed killers are sold.
I am dedicated. I am TNT.
With Team in Training, you will reach your best physical self so blood cancer patients can reach theirs. Change your life by joining a marathon, half marathon, triathlon, or a cycle event, and you'll change the lives of blood cancer patients.
I am committed. I am TNT.
After 600,000 participants and almost $1 billion raised for treatments, TNT has helped the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society make a significant impact in the advancement of blood cancer therapies that save lives every day.
I am making a difference. I am TNT.
Join TNT. Expand your circle of friends to be part of a very special community. Train with world-class trainers and have the chance to be part of the most exciting endurance sports events in the country. Or train on your own schedule with TNT Flex. Join TNT and fundraise while you train, and take part in getting us all closer to a world without blood cancers.
Join TNT now. Go to teamintraining.org.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Ownwell. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at ownwell.com/terms. Estimate based on your neighborhood average and individual results may vary.
When I saw how high my property tax bill was, I was shocked. We couldn't afford this, but I discovered Ownwell. Ownwell reduced my property taxes and saved me over $1,000.
Your property taxes aren't set in stone. They can be protested and they can be reduced. But instead of filing protests yourself and very possibly losing your appeal, Ownwell does it all for you. But hurry, time is running out to protest. Ownwell has reduced property taxes for hundreds of thousands of Texans and put money back in their pocket, and you can be one of them. And unlike other companies that take half of whatever you save, Ownwell charges just 25%, and that's only if you save.
Now I don't worry about my property taxes. Ownwell reduces it every year.
Sign up now, free. Don't pay unless you save. But hurry, time is running out to protest. Text WIN to 64,000. Text WIN to 64,000. Text WIN to 64,000.
Wake up with Hardge and Henry in the morning kickoff on 1300 The Zone.
Welcome back. Good morning kickoff. AM 1300 The Zone. the world's strongest man and my favorite baseball player of all time, Mike Hardball Hardge, and my boy Marcus. Guys, I'm happy that we get to talk. This has been a blessing to me. It's been a blessing to my family. And I found out yesterday that it's been a blessing to some other people. We have one of the parents that's on the my daughter's wrestling team that listens to the show every morning. And he said, man, I listen to y'all, and it's not just sports. It's not just numbers, great interviews, and y'all talk about life and your kids and stuff. Well, here we are, man. We talking about the kids again. Yesterday, I walked by, and okay, Hardge don't like it when I get real close to him. I'm a hugger, okay? I'm just going to let it be known. I'm a hugger, yeah. And I walked up and I put my arm around Hardge's shoulders, and he said, come on, man, let me go. And I looked down, and he had a picture of Jazzy on his phone. Oh, it melted my heart. That's my favorite.
Oh, Lord.
She's my favorite.
Oh, my gosh.
And Hardge, please. I know I'm not supposed to share all the goods, but tell her how feisty Jazzy is, man. She's like the best.
She's built different, that's for sure. She comes by it honest. She don't play around. She don't. If you're not part of it,
she don't like a lot of people either.
No, she don't. And she keeps it 100 all the time. So I appreciate you giving my daughter a shout out. She will be excited about that. But I want to get into this conversation about the Houston Texans. The Houston Texans are a team that had a lot of high hopes last year.
Yeah.
D'Amico Ryans, one heck of a football coach, was able to make a lot of changes within their organization, but they just didn't get to where they needed to be. And now we're starting to see some changes for them. And what I mean by that, well, as you know, they got rid of their whole entire offensive line. Everybody got to go. Yeah, because as you said during the break, he was running for his life. C.J. Stroud was running for his life.
Track meet.
And Nick Caserio, the GM of the Houston Texans, was on the show with Kay Adams again. Kay has been doing a really good job of getting these top-notch people on her show to be able to talk all things sports, as you possibly know. But one of the things that he was talking about was what to expect from year 3, what from C.J. Stroud. But for me, it starts with that offensive line. We'll get into that in a second. But here's what Nick Caserio had to say about C.J. Stroud.
But I think you did your thing for Stroud, which is the gig, right? Like Higgins and Knoll and Ursery to bring in and help with the O-line. We obviously, we were not, I'm sure you weren't super happy with the way the year ended. We have this amazing talent. We want to get back there. What did you learn, speaking about being a Texan and the toughness, what did you learn about C.J. Stroud? Like, you had your scouting report on him, you grabbed him, you loved him. What one thing from this past year would you add into that folder and that file about him?
He's very convicted. He's very prideful. He cares a lot about winning, and he wants to go out there and perform well on a weekly basis. And I think any player, every player, we all get frustrated when things don't go your way, but your ability to bounce back and have a certain level, kind of what I talked about a little bit earlier, mental toughness to be able to handle what's in front of you. It wasn't perfect. Like, we had our ups and downs, but I mean, other than 2 games last year, we essentially had an opportunity in the fourth quarter of every game. So this year, who knows what's going to happen? It's probably going to be a little bit different, but like, we understand how competitive this league is. I mean, I think there was a stat from the league meetings. I mean, 70% of the games last year were 1-score games in the fourth quarter, which is ridiculous. It just goes to show you how competitive this league is. So if you can at least put your team in that position to have an opportunity to win in the fourth quarter, that's all you can ask for. But CJ cares a lot about winning. He's had a great offseason. He's been here really since February. I mean, he's kind of been in and out here a little bit, but, you know, everybody needs some time away. But he wants to improve, and there's going to be a certain learning curve associated with learning a new offense, with, you know, having Coach Cayley here and some of the things that go into that. But I think he's got the right mindset. He understands that, we can all improve and we can all get better. And this is what the offseason is for. So hopefully he's excited about what's in front of us.
Man, I'm sitting here listening to that, and that's an interesting stat about how close the league is. Imagine if you didn't get sacked the second most of times in the entire league. Imagine if you had sustained drives and you didn't have the injuries that you had at the end of the season. Houston would have done a lot better. And I really do feel like revamping this offensive line, restructuring this offensive line with people that are not giving Olay and lookout blocks every series, will benefit Houston.
Yeah, it's been a interesting offseason, to say the least. And one of the other questions that was asked was about this offensive line and the reconstruction of it.
You drafted an offensive lineman. You're talking about convictions. Your fans are convicted about the O-line. They would have taken $1 million offensive linemen if they could. But I was looking at just the depth chart. There's so many combinations, Nick, that you guys could go with. It's sort of crazy. There's so many guys in that position room that could all be starters. Is there a master plan? How did the offensive lineman you chose fit into that? Or is this just going to be like a fight to the death in training camp for these spots?
You're one of the few that's made a very astute observation, Kay, about the composition of that group right now. So I'd say we have a lot of players that have a lot of experience, not only in NFL, but in our system as well. So have some players that are tackle only, have some players that have experience playing tackle and guard, have some players that are guard only, have some players that can play all three inside positions. So we feel like there's going to be really good competition amongst that group. I think we have a lot of confidence in the players that are here. I'd say adding Ursary to that group, we feel as a player that's going to enhance that competition as well. As played a lot of football, brings a certain physicality and a mindset and a toughness to that. So we'll get the 5 best guys out there on the field, and we're going to have 8 at the game every week. But we feel that overall that's a pretty competitive group, and we feel like at some point it's all going to manifest itself, and there's an opportunity for us out there that we feel makes sense, and we can add a player. We're never going to turn that down.
So, Mark, as this team tries to figure out what's next for them, they had to get that offensive line correct. They have to make the adjustments. Getting rid of Laramie Tunsil, getting rid of Kenyon Green, guys that were special to this organization, and now they're starting to rebuild this offensive line. How quickly can they adjust and get this thing figured out?
I think it's going to be pretty immediate, because they're already a very good team. And as you know, Hardge, the hardest thing to do is to get a quarterback.
Yep.
And they have a good one and a smart one. And Nick Caley, the offense coordinator, brings in a new system that is tailor-made for a quarterback that can use the running back to distract you from just loading up or backing off and trying to take away the pass. So now they're going to bring people in, and with an offensive line that can actually go and run block, you have less passing attempts. So by default, you're going to have less sacks, and so I'm looking forward to seeing what Caley does.
I just, you start to run for your life. You start to look at this offensive line and where they're trying to go and what they're trying to build throughout this moment. And the correction, is it more of an overcorrection? Is it a correction that has put themselves in the conversation of being put there? You start looking at their offensive line. They have Cam Robinson, who they brought in.
Yeah.
They brought in Ursay. He is 6'6", 331. Cam Robinson is 6'6", 335. They got Titus Howard, 6'5", 332. Blake Fisher is 6'6". Trent Brown is 6'8", 360.
They are going to run at you. You're going to be tired.
Yeah.
And then they're going to play action you to death. They're going to do.
That's where he's best.
And
play action.
They were hurt.
Yeah.
They wide receiver wise, man, how many games did Collins miss? Dale went down for the season. Like they they've added to the wide receiver corps too, so they're going to be all right.
Yeah, it's going to be one of those situations where I'm excited to see if they can get it figured out. But man, oh man, if they don't, how bad will Nick Caserio look by making all those trades to get rid of those offensive
If you don't want to
linemen?
block, you got to get rid of those guys.
Yeah, no doubt.
Especially if you throw the ball a lot.
So here we go. Coming up next, you know what time it is. The world's strongest man bringing you the world's strongest take right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Listen to something authentically Austin, the JB and Sandy podcast on the iHeartRadio app.
We're all cleared for the crash on I-35 northbound at Stassi Lane, but there is still some residual backup from Highway 45, about a 30-minute delay. Also, some stop-and-go traffic on 183 northbound, a 15-minute slowdown from D. Gabriel Collins Road over to Highway 71, and a stalled vehicle blocks off the right lane on the service road of I-35 southbound at Yarrington. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Abacus Plumbing, Air Conditioning, and Electrical.
Need an AC company you can count on? Call Abacus. From tune-ups to repairs and the latest indoor air quality solutions, Abacus can do it all. Now get 0% financing for 60 months on select Linux systems. If you want the best, call Abacus. You can count on us.
Hey, if you're looking to refurbish your smile or just taking care of your day-to-day dental health care needs, I can recommend a solution. Dr. Greg Eckert. Dr. Eckert has been at it for 30 years now here in Austin, helping folks with dental repair, whitening, cosmetic dentistry, and a leader in full mouth restoration. They can help you make the informed decision about your dental health care. Give Dr. Eckert a call today at 512-345-3166. That's Eckert with a U, U-E-C-K-E-R-T. 512-345-3166 for Dr. Greg Eckert.
Earl Campbell here for my good friends at Austin Shoe Hospital. Austin Shoe Hospital has been repairing my favorite boots and shoes for over 30 years. They are the best Western boot repair company in Texas and can repair any boot brand or style. Visit the master cobblers at Austin Shoe Hospital and they will bring all your shoes, boots, and bags back to life. If you can wear it, they can repair it. Oh, yes, and hook 'em horns.
Visit AustinShoeHospital.com.
Hey, Austin, this is Cameron Parker with big news. 2024 savings are ending. Customers who switch from Geico, Allstate, and State Farm to Fred Loya Insurance saved an average of $2,300 a year. That's right. Customers in Texas saved an average of $2,300 a year when they switch to Fred Loya Insurance. That's almost $200 a month. Wow. Don't wait. Make 2025 a great year by calling Fred Loya Insurance. Call today, 1-800-444-4040. That's 1-800-444-4040. Or visit fredloya.com. If you don't call, you don't save. Individual savings may vary.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers. T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it.
Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/55 to learn more. With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 new lines with autopay for well-qualified customers plus taxes, fees, and $35 per line connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Chargers sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
Hey there. I'm Phil Briggs, Navy veteran and host of CBS Eye on Veterans weekly radio show and podcast. And I often think of my old boss in the Navy, Commander Reed, especially when I'm trying to motivate my kids. Now I know how he must have felt trying to motivate me. This Military Appreciation Month, Navy Federal Credit Union wants to celebrate those who go above and beyond for us every day. Learn more at NavyFederal.org/celebrate. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA.
From the ABA Heating and Cooling Weather Center, this is Zone Weather.
Your Austin weather, partly cloudy skies for your Thursday, a high in the low 90s. Tonight's low 68. Friday, cloudy skies in the morning, followed by strong thunderstorms in the afternoon. Could see some heavy rainfall, a high near 80. Thunderstorms likely tomorrow night, a low near 60.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Business owners can now keep in touch with up to 200 staff members at one time. Go to rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping.
Here's what's trending now on the new and improved iHeartRadio app.
Okay, don't freak out. Chaperone is here, and she is unfiltered on Las Culturistas. I gotta warn you, there is no topic off limits. Plus, Kate Cassidy breaks her silence on Purpose with Jay Shetty. She talks about Liam Payne, and it's an episode you do not want to miss. Plus, Amy Lou Wood drops by On Air with Ryan Seacrest, and she says she felt pretty ugly after learning her casting process for White Lotus.
Explore the latest. Open the free iHeartRadio app and see what's trending now.
The Round Rock Express play here. 1300 The Zone. Since softball is heating up as every
That beat drops, so it can only mean one thing. WWE Hall of Famer and the world's strongest man, Pete Mark Henry, brings you the world's strongest take. Take it away, big fella.
Hard.
What's up?
You know what time it is? It's time for the world's strongest take by the world's strongest man. My God. Back then, they didn't know me. Now I'm out there all on me. Guys, I come to you with a heavy heart. My Lakers, who I had a lot of faith in, who I crowned them, told us who they were. They are who we thought they were. Okay, no Dennis Green. They aren't exactly who we thought they were. We all thought after the trade, because of the run that the Lakers made after the trade, that they would be able to pretty much walk through the Minnesota Timberwolves, possibly beat Denver or Oklahoma City, and be the representative for the West in the NBA Finals. Didn't happen. And a lot of the reason that didn't happen was because of continuity and the pieces that were on that team. And this is not just after the trade. This is before the trade. The Lakers were going to have a problem because the biggest guy that they've had in their rotation was Jackson Hayes, and he's 6'11", but he's only 225 pounds. I mean, 225 pounds. I probably ate 225 pounds worth of food this week. Like, he's not a big guy. The Lakers have got to retool their roster. Now that the season is over, you can go into fix-it mode. And I'm gonna tell you who they have. They have Jackson Hayes, who I told you he's, super athletic, University of Texas guy. Shout out, hook 'em. Trey Jamison and Max Keebler. They have Alex Lynn and Markieff Morris, who is 6'9". Alex Lynn, street clothes, never played. Koloko played a little bit, not effective. And as you said, Hardge, Max Keebler was, and not the Keebler else, but Max Keebler that came in the trade with Luka from Dallas. He was injured, and he was only activated last night, and he only played 5 minutes. Maybe the ankle wasn't right yet. But Trey Jamison, 0 minutes in the playoffs. Jackson Hayes played 5 minutes the last game. He played pretty much the entire season as their rotational center. He would be the only guy that I kept. on the roster next year. Jackson Hayes would be the only one. They need to go out and find about 4 guys that are between 7 feet tall, 250 pounds, and all they want to do is rebound, block shots, and punch your mama in the mouth. The Lakers, they don't have toughness. They don't have size. They have enough scoring. They're a perimeter-based shooting team. You know that the center is not going to be shooting stretch threes. That's not their game. So go out and get people that can do the job. What say you? And then also, before I hand it over, can you put Dalton Connect back in the rotation, please? Dalton Connect was the most athletic guy on the floor outside of LeBron James.
I think your problem is got nothing to do with the personnel. It's the person pulling the strings. It was J.J. Redick. J.J. Redick thought that he could walk in because he had LeBron. He has no experience as a basketball coach. Like, you have to understand how to go through certain things. Just because you're a player doesn't make you a great coach. Ken Griffey Jr. will be the first to tell you, I was a great hitter, but I couldn't teach you how to hit. JJ was a shooter. JJ was an all defensive team. I just saw a note just now that spoke of Luka Doncic as the primary defender. He defended 16 drives. 9 of them were blow-bys. So it goes back to your point of trying to get somebody to defend a rim, and you don't do that. You know why? Because you're not experienced as a coach, because your game is on the perimeter.
I want you to be so confident in playing up on guys and challenging them, because if they do beat you, you have somebody that's going to turn them away. Lakers, once you blow by Luka, it's a layup.
Right, or a dunk.
Slick. Ant-Man, Batman, Superman. Lakers in 5.
And they're going to the crib because they didn't orchestrate the right things for the team. And I keep picking on Luka because everybody in Dallas thinks that he was going to save their team because he went to the playoffs that one year and went to the finals
last year.
And here's the thing. He had Kyrie with him. He had people that could hoop. You have LeBron, one of the greatest of all times. He's 40, and you mismanaged his minutes. But LeBron should have said, I don't care what you say, I need a break.
I need to sit down
at
least 9 minutes this game.
Let me sit out. The polyurethane is getting chipped right now. They are finding his kryptonite, and it's minutes.
Yeah.
Father Time waits for nobody. You can do everything. LeBron, you look great physically.
For 30 minutes.
You look great because you spent $1 million on your body. I get it.
For 30 minutes.
You're 40 years old, bro.
40 minutes?
You can't do it.
No.
You can't do it. So it's going to be a difficult rebuild, as you like to say, or whatever they got to do.
It's actually a rebuild.
It's going to be difficult, and you mortgaged now your future because you knew LeBron was on his way out. You went and got you a superstar, but your superstar is not playing both ends of the floor. He has never done that, and people are mad in Dallas because Nico said, I need somebody to play defense. As street clothes as Anthony Davis is in, he's up for defense. He was up for Defensive Player of the Year in, year out, because he plays, and he still gives you 40. Those are the things that LeBron was talking about when he's like, I didn't know we were trading AD. Yeah, everybody thinks that you could put a guy like Luka on a team, and he hasn't won anything. He hasn't won anything, so love him as much as you want. He could be your favorite player, but he's also a liability when it comes to playing the whole game. We'll come back, close out the show, send you to Dan Patrick. We got more NBA tonight, and, of course, Texas baseball takes on a rival right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Texas softball is heating up. Catch every pitch.
Soaring fly ball center field. Back goes Dill with a warning track to the wall. It's gone. Jolie Mitchell for the second game in a row. A round tripper, and the Longhorns up 4-1 here in the 7th inning.
As the Horns take on the SEC, search Retro Austin on the free iHeartRadio app and listen to Texas softball all season long.
Listen to something authentically Austin, the JB and Sandy podcast on the iHeartRadio app.
There's a 15-minute backup on Mopac northbound because a crash at Steck Avenue blocks off both the left lane and the express lanes. Delays here start from 2222. And on the topic of 2222, there's reports of an accident on 620 at 2222, as well as reports of debris affecting the exit ramp on 183 southbound off to Olin. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Crispy chicken nuggets are back at Taco Bell. All white meat chicken, coated in tortilla chip breading, and paired with unique dipping sauces. At participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only, while supplies last. Contact store for availability.
It is tough to go outside these days. Hey, that's understandable given how hot it is. But there is definitely a way to beat the heat. A trip to Inner Space Caverns in Georgetown. Inner Space Caverns is a great place to take the family. You'd be amazed at all of the beautiful formations, large rooms, prehistoric animal bones, and all kinds of creations with a truly unique discovery story right here in the Austin area in the year-round temperature of a very comfortable 72 degrees. You can check out the super exciting Sabertooth Zip Ride or Pan for Gemstones. Take the Wild Cave Tour or the Hidden Passages Tour. And there is a great souvenir gift shop and newly remodeled restrooms. Get out of the house, but get out of the heat and get some fresh air underground. Inner Space Caverns, right off I-35 at exit 259 in Georgetown. That's Inner Space Caverns. For more details, check them out on the web at innerspacecaverns.com. Inner Space Caverns. Check it out. Your adventure awaits.
Leo Schofield spent decades in prison for a crime Jeremy Scott later confessed to. Season 2 of the hit podcast Bone Valley investigates how Jeremy's violent past unfolded and who else may have suffered his wrath.
This is a case that should never happen. I told you got it wrong. You got the wrong man.
Listen to Bone Valley on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Bone Valley.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce, spruce, spruce.
It's Spruce, the new hardworking, worry-free weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people and pets. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Weeds die by the next day. Find Spruce wherever weed killers are sold.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check the GPS directions first, before driving to the mall.
Turn right at the light. In 1,000 miles, you will reach Montreal.
Not Montreal, the mall.
Recalculating. 6,000 miles to Nepal.
No, the mall.
Checking first is smart.
Recalculating.
So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Running a fleet is expensive. So what happens when you cut the fuel bill by 10% with a Coast Fleet Card?
We're saving money and time, which means we're able to take better care of all of our vehicles and our techs, plus our bottom line. Coast has been a real game changer for us.
With Coast, you get smarter spending, stronger security, and real support when you need it. Set spending limits, track purchases in real time, and stop unauthorized transactions before they happen. Coast works anywhere Visa is accepted, so you're not limited to overpriced or out-of-the-way gas stations.
The customer service is way above the company that we used before. Along with the extra security, it's worth saying again, total game changer for us.
Go to coastpay.com/sports and learn how to save an average of 10% on your fuel bill with Coast. That's coastpay.com/sports to save 10% on fuel with Coast. coastpay.com/SPORTS.
Coast card products are issued by Celtic Bank. All card accounts are subject to credit approval. Actual savings may vary. See terms at coastpay.com. The spokesperson and characters in this ad are accurate portrayals.
Steel GMC in Round Rock. Hi, I'm Steve David, General Manager. Great deals are all we do here at Steel GMC. Our deal is upfront, honest, and a real deal. Not some overhyped web price that when you get there, vanishes like a 30-point lead. Come see us and get a real deal at Steel. Exit 256 in Round Rock or see for yourself at steelgmcroundrock.com.
Shop us first or shop us last. Get a real deal from Steel.
We are professional grade.
Do you
disregard people's personal space? Sitting next to people in public, even if there are tons of open seats? Do people ask, how do you sleep at night? Then you should get a mattress from Mattress Firm. They can help anyone sleep. There's still time. Come to Mattress Firm's Memorial Day sale and get a queen mattress and adjustable base for just $499.99. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
All about the presets.
That is the best new feature. It's like a car radio right on the app. There's a list of what's trending. There's all the podcasts. I love it.
Get in on what everyone's talking about and get the new and improved free iHeartRadio app today.
iHeartRadio. Texas softball is heating up, catching every pitch.
Field back goes Dill with a warning track to the wall. It's gone.
As the Horns take on the SEC, search Retro Austin on the free iHeartRadio app and listen to Texas softball all season long.
If you miss any part of the show, get over to our podcast page on that new and improved iHeartRadio app. You can go back and listen to our interview with Eric Henry of Horns 247 as he broke down the salary cap and how it's not as bad as you think it is for the Texas Longhorns. We also spent some time with Coach Jim Schlossnagle as they are in Fayetteville, Arkansas, to prepare for a 3-game series that starts tonight, folks. Don't forget, it starts tonight, the 3-game series against the number 11 ranked Arkansas Razorbacks. Tonight's matchup starts at 6 p.m. You can watch it on ESPN2. Tomorrow, you can watch the second game of the series on the SEC Network. And then Saturday's game starts at 2 p.m. and you can watch that on SEC Plus. But you can also listen to the voice of Craig Way and Keith Moreland as they bring it to you on 103.1 FM, so you can listen to it there. Also, Texas softball has a huge matchup this weekend against Kentucky, and you can hear that on the iHeartRadio app. All you got to do is get over to that page or go on to TexasLonghorns.com, and it will direct you to where you can listen to that. We had a busy week this week, Mark, and a lot of it had to do with football, but there is some baseball that is taking place. And in the MLB, I think it's important for us to kind of talk about the fact that the Texas Rangers pitching staff has shown to be one of the best in Major League Baseball as of right now. Their pitching staff is top notch, and it is being led by Jacob deGrom. You have Nathan Eovaldi back on the mound doing an unbelievable job. Jack Leiter is there doing everything. Nathan Eovaldi has a 2.21 ERA. Tyler Mahle has a 1.14 ERA. Jack Leiter has a 2.03. Jacob deGrom, 2.73. And Patrick Corbin, a 3.79 ERA. This is one of the best pitching staffs in Major League Baseball, starter to finish. And one of the other things that I wanted to make sure that we talked about is coming into the season, we looked at the LA Dodgers as one of the top teams in Major League Baseball. The best team money can buy, so to speak. Did you know that in the NL West, that the Dodgers are 21-10, but the San Diego Padres are 19-11, followed by the San Francisco Giants, who are 19-12. The only team in that division that is terrible, and I'm talking about terrible.
Like Charles Buck, like terrible?
Yeah, it's terrible. Is the Colorado Rockies. The Colorado Rockies are 5-25.
Oh my gosh.
They are worse than the Chicago White Sox. And the White Sox are on a total rebuild.
How are they not
7-23?
How are they not better with the stadium that they have? It's a short park. And not to mention, things fly and carry further because the air is thinner.
It is not a good look, to say the least, for the Colorado Rockies. Another team that was being talked about and we had Chipper Jones talking about his Atlanta Braves. The Atlanta Braves are struggling. They're 14-16. They're trying to get themselves better.
Well, they're on the struggle bus, but they're not like 5-20.
Yeah, exactly. The Detroit Tigers are 19-12. They lead the AL Central. The New York Yankees, your Yankees, Mark, are 18-13, followed by the Boston Red Sox. The team that Chipper thought was going to be in the World Series was the Baltimore Orioles. I wasn't too far behind him, but the Orioles are now 12-18. I think they're going to be fine. I think they're going to be able to
they
flip
have
it
any
around.
injuries?
They've been dealing. Everybody's dealing with them right now.
That's true.
But yeah, it's just one of those things. We'll start talking more. And Astro fans, you get to take on the White Sox, so you better be locked in and loaded to be able to get the wins. They are sitting in second place in the AL West. Even with the good pitching staff that I said about the Rangers, they're 16-15. They can't score runs.
Remember
right
when
now.
the White Sox used to suck?
The White Sox were good. They suck now.
I mean, they were really good, but now they
are terrible.
They suck.
They're
backwards.
Yeah, they are.
I'm dyslexic.
I cannot deal with you right now, man. I mean, I believe you, but I'm just saying the timing of it just didn't seem right.
Why you wanna dyslexis?
I'm not talking to you anymore, Marcus.
So it is going to be interesting to see. We're going to end up talking more baseball coming up pretty soon. I just wanted to let this season get going a little bit so you can see who's real and who's fake. We still got the Oakland A's who are sitting at 16-15 in the West.
Still got 100 games.
And they're not even the Oakland A's. They're just called the Athletics now because they're playing in Sacramento. They don't even have a home field. Tampa is playing in Tampa, but they're not playing in St. Pete. They're playing in a minor league ballpark as well. They're sitting at 14-16.
So the owners could just say, you know what, we're going to take our team and just go.
Well, the city is making sure of that because don't forget, in St. Pete, they had that hurricane come through and it messed up everything. But for Oakland, they're just
displaced.
They're displaced, yeah.
Okay.
But they're going to get a new stadium. But you look at what is going on with the Oakland Athletics, the move is going to be to Las Vegas. They just don't know when. They don't know when this is going to happen because they got to be able to build the new stadium. They got, as well as I do, tear it down to build it up. You got to figure that all out.
Sacramento is not looking at Portland and or Seattle and going, maybe we should try to keep our team and see what happened to the economy in Seattle.
Well, I mean, Seattle's not going anywhere. It's the Oakland A's that had to end up moving around and doing different things. So we'll see how it all plays.
I'm just talking
out.
about the loss of the team, the Supersonics.
Oh, you talking about the basketball?
Yeah, it's horrible, man.
Yeah, it's a bad look. But we'll continue these conversations and so much more. Don't forget, tomorrow we'll have our guy Zach Sim on to talk from Orange Bloods to talk more about Game 1. We got a new segment with Ann Parker Coleman coming on with us to talk football and moving into this new realm of Texas athletics. It's going to be fun to get her going and so much more right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Right now, the Home Depot has spring deals under $20. So what are you working on? If you're planning on cooking out this season, head to the Home Depot so you can fire up the grill with deals on charcoal. Right now, get 2 16-pound bags of Kingsford charcoal for only $17.88. Was $19.98. Don't miss spring deals under $20 now through May 7th at the Home Depot. Subject to availability, valid on select items only.
Hey, Austin, this is Cameron Parker with big news. 2024 savings are ending. Customers who switch from Geico, Allstate, and State Farm to Fred Loyal Insurance saved an average of $2,300 a year. That's right, customers